Liam Lawson has been officially announced for the Racing Bull's seat in a surprising and emotional twist after the Singapore race. However, it appears that his ultimate goal isn't to stay with Red Bull's sister team. Lawson is eyeing the main Red Bull seat, and with his contract with Racing Bulls now concluded, he has a golden opportunity to partner with Verstappen starting in 2025. This could align perfectly with the Austrian team's plans, especially since Perez has hinted at an earlier than expected retirement. As a result, Lawson will be under the spotlight in the remaining 6 races of the season. Despite starting his first race in Austin with a 10-place grid penalty due to a new engine, the young driver is excited about being given the opportunity to race for the team that nurtured his talent. Reflecting on his journey, Lawson emphasised the significance of his role as a reserve driver for Racing Bulls from the beginning, mentioning that he hasn't had the easiest year. Last year he got to race in a few F1 events, but this year he was mostly on the sidelines. At the same time, if I hadn't participated in those races last year, I wouldn't be in the running for a seat now, but being a reserve driver this year has taught me a lot. Formula One is so different from other racing series, and this role gave me a chance to learn a lot. You just can't compare it to other types of racing. What's really interesting for Formula One fans is that Lawson doesn't have a contract for the entire 2025 season. He's only signed up for the last 6 races in 2024. This suggests that even the team isn't completely sure he'll continue driving for them afterward. It raises a lot of questions about whether Perez might be let go next. Perez's performance this season hasn't been up to par. We might not even be discussing this if he hadn't crashed in Baku, costing him valuable points and dropping him to 8th place in the Drivers' Championship. And in Singapore, not making it past Q2 and barely scoring a point by undercutting Kalapinto isn't the kind of performance you want from Red Bull's second driver. Lawson mentioned that the 2025 contract is still up in the air because Red Bull will review all their drivers at the end of the year to see who's performing best. Helmut Marko was right about one thing: the team will reshuffle its lineup for 2025. This became clear when they decided to stick with Perez for the rest of the season after his poor performance at Spa. Nonetheless, there's plenty to be hopeful about looking forward. Lawson expressed his excitement, saying he's thrilled to have a spot in Formula One, but acknowledges the challenge ahead. With just 6 rounds left in the season, he's joining at a tough time, competing against drivers who have already completed 3/4 of the season, especially on tracks where he has little experience. Will be tough. It's going to be tough. I have until the end of this season to show what I can do, and I'll learn more as the season progresses. I need to perform well and prove myself in Formula One, just like I did last year. That's what earned me this opportunity, and I need to keep it up to secure my place for next year. The idea that Ricciardo will replace me is pretty unlikely. The Australian driver has said he's taking a break from racing and isn't interested in being Red Bull's reserve driver again. The Austrian team made an interesting move by appointing Isaac Hajar as their reserve driver. This young Frenchman is currently competing for the F2 Championship against Bortoleto, demonstrating his significant potential if the team can harness it properly. Meanwhile, there's speculation that Perez may consider early retirement given the expanding race calendar, which now includes 24 races and is likely to grow. Perez desires more family time, which could pave the way for Lawson to join Verstappen. Discussing his future, Perez mentioned the potential exit of important sponsors like Telmex and Telcal, both owned by Carlos Slim, who has been a key supporter of Perez's F1 career. If Red Bull thinks losing these business partners is a minor issue, they should think again. Remember, when Perez was about to be replaced after Spa, pressure from these financial backers swiftly changed Red Bull's plans. At one point, Red Bull seemed ready to swap out Perez in the blink of an eye. They even worked on the car to make it more suitable for him, but now their attitude towards Perez has shifted noticeably. This really makes you wonder if they're prepared to let the 34-year-old go, despite his hefty cost to the Constructors' Championship. Enter Lawson, whose mission would be straightforward: stay as close to Verstappen as possible and seize any opportunities that arise from the 3-time world champion's mistakes or bad luck. Perez has often been seen as Red Bull's weak spot, but the mystery remains as to why he's still in the driver's seat, unlike Ricciardo, who was ousted for poor performance. Could Lawson be the key to this puzzle? Red Bull has certainly taken steps towards promoting him, indicating a possible shift in their lineup. Insiders say the team will decide by September 15th if Lawson will race for Racing Bulls. The team's shareholders have made it clear they want to focus on young talent rather than pairing a veteran with a new driver. If Lawson is promoted to Red Bull sooner than expected, possibly by 2025, Racing Bulls would likely continue with Hajar. This could give Hajar a straightforward path to Formula One. However, in the competitive world of Formula One, performance isn't the only factor. Money and sponsorships play a big role too. Ricciardo retained his seat not just for his contributions to the team's performance and Constructors' Championship with Tsunoda outscoring him 22 to 12 points, but also for his marketing value and ability to attract sponsors. Visa Cash App and Hugo Boss weren't thrilled about Ricciardo leaving the team, which now puts extra pressure on Lawson to win them over with his performance, charm and looks. Impressively, Lawson scored 2 points at the challenging Singapore track on his first try in 2023, quite the feat. However, one good race doesn't make a career, and Lawson knows his toughest competitor is the one right beside him. Tsunoda put it clearly, the main aim for the Racing Bulls driver is to get promoted to Red Bull, and they will do whatever it takes to make that happen. But looking at the Austrian team's focus, it seems Tsunoda isn't getting much attention, perhaps because he's connected to the team through Honda rather than Red Bull directly. With Honda now partnering with Aston Martin, there's even talk of Tsunoda moving to their team. This setting suggests that 2025 will be a year full of tension and potential shake-ups, whether it's Red Bull sticking to their current drivers or opting for big changes. Time will tell. Considering all of this, do you believe Lawson will give his all to prove he deserves a spot as a Red Bull driver from 2025 onward? If he does, do you think he can cope with the intense pressure of racing alongside Verstappen, especially with Verstappen's career plans beyond 2026 still up in the air? Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.